Picture yourself in one of these scenarios. You go shopping and your credit card transaction is denied despite the fact that you know you have money in your account. Or you go to an ATM machine and you're informed that your withdrawal request has been denied. Or you're a public official, such as a school business administrator, county treasurer, municipal finance manager, pension fund administrator, or anyone who has responsibility for protecting public taxpayer funds. You're informed that all accounts have been frozen until further notice. As you investigate why you can't access money you know should be available, you find out that the bank has failed and has been closed until further notice by the FDIC. You also discover that the government will be confiscating part of your deposits in order to stabilize the bank. You believe that this can't happen here because the FDIC protects your money. You may have placed your money into one of the big banks because it has large vaults and is protected by the government. You may have placed public monies into a large bank because they're collateralized and the government will back them. Therefore, you think these funds are safe. All of these assumptions are not based on the facts. Perhaps you recall that in Cyprus, depositors' money was confiscated in order to stabilize the banks. Similar plans are already in place to do the same in the US and other countries. In a nutshell, the banks in Cyprus were over-leveraged to the point that their liabilities exceeded their gross domestic product. Because the global bailouts of large banks in 2008 were so politically unpopular, a global banking troika of the International Monetary Fund, the European Central Bank, and the European Union imposed a bail-in which bank customers were to have some of their savings seized in order to stabilize the banks. The losses to some clients were as high as 60%.
Cyprus was the test run. Now, that's where the European Union kind of let the cat out of the bag, what they planned to do on a bigger scale. But depositors took a real haircut. Interestingly, though, of course, the big boys got out. In the days before, they went after depositors' money, the small-time saver, $150 billion, I forget the number, left the Cyprus banks because the insiders knew what was coming. And the insiders will know what's coming when the next U.S. bank burns down. They'll get out and they'll leave the mom and pop depositors and maybe city governments holding the bag.
In order to protect themselves, the Cyprus government closed the banks 12 days and people had limited access to their money. Long lines formed at the ATM machine.
The fact is that the confiscations in Cyprus were not a one-time event. The eventuality for this had already been planned in advance, and there are plans in place for confiscations of depositor accounts in New Zealand, the European Union, Canada, England, and the United States.
It's your brother again. I'm not going to be long. You heard him. He said that they got something planned with these central banks. Stop putting your money into these banks. Yeah, pay your bills. You heard what he said. They got plans for the U.S., New Zealand, other countries. Grab your gold. This coronavirus, it should have been a wake-up call. When it hit, everybody was panicking and didn't know what to do. Now you have opportunity, protect yourself and your family because the dollar will fall. It's inevitable. Like when the stocks and stuff fell, the big guys, they took their money out because they knew it was coming. And by the time it came, it was too late. The people couldn't catch up. You see that he said that they take from the lower class of people. And the same thing will happen right before the dollar crashes. All these big guys will be taking out their money and investing it and doing different things. And by the time it crashes, it'll be too late and you haven't protected yourself. Grab your gold. I'm not saying you got to get $1,000 or $2,000. I'm just saying you need, some gold to protect yourself in time of economic crisis, which will be here soon. How soon? I don't know. But don't waste your time. Do not get left behind. You don't want to go to the store one day and your card declines, as you said in the video, and they say, we need another form of payment, and you can't pay them in no gold if that's what it comes to because all your money is tied up in the banks. The banks don't even tie their money up into the banks. The banks invest their money in other things. Well, your money in other things because the bank is just a debt institution that holds your money and uses your money and just lets you borrow the little fiat money. It's all monopoly, man. It's all fiat. It's all a scam. I wouldn't say a scam, but I would say it's all make believe. I remember that when the coronavirus hit, everybody's 401ks took that nosedive, and some still haven't recovered. Stocks still haven't recovered. Bonds still haven't recovered. And the articles came out, about a month later while the coronavirus was doing its thing. Oh, this top guy, that top guy dumped this stock and that stock because they knew it was coming before it happened. Just like they know that they'll know when the dollar's about to crash before it happens, and the articles come out. Oh, they did this and did this. The banks protect themselves. The central banks have trillions of dollars in gold. The banks have trillions of dollars in gold, and they'll be fine once the dollar hits. But will you? The link is in my bio. Grab your gold today. Protect yourself and protect your family. Peace.